On March 15th, an extremely alarming piece of information surfaced in the world of precious metals, stating that the United States Mint announced that they will not produce any 2022 Morgan or silver peace dollars, citing a lack of silver blanks as the reason, and adding that the pause will give them time to study how to use their limited supply of silver to ensure the best customer experience that we can. Now, when I covered this article in my latest video, I said, I think this goes a lot deeper than they're admitting, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, unfortunately, I was right because another article surfaced on March 24th exposing the legal trouble that they're in. Let me show you a sentence down here from this article. Effectively, the U.S. Mint is prevented from complying with one statutory requirement to produce silver American Eagles sufficient to meet public demand by another statutory requirement that prohibits it from paying a price higher than the paper market spot price. This goes into the laws and regulations. We're talking about 31 U.S. Code 5116A3. We're talking about a lot of stuff exposing how serious this situation is, and I hope you stick around to find out why. Now, everyone knows the saying, low supply, high demand shoots the price up. Well, it's not just the U.S. Mint that's in extremely hot water. The Royal Mint and the Perth Mint also announced, admitted, and recorded record-breaking sales for 2022, but they are also having an extremely hard time finding silver blanks. The Royal Mint's actually starting to scrap laptops and cell phones to try to get some type of product. Everyone wants a slice of the silver pie, but there's just not much pie left. So when we look at this article, it gets even more sinister. We're talking about the legal side of things now. I didn't know that they're in this much trouble. When it comes to buying silver, Mint's hands are tied. Last week, the U.S. Mint announced that it would not strike 2022 dated Morgan and Peace silver dollars as it was experiencing difficulty in coming up with an adequate supply of the silver planchets. This month, the wholesale and retail prices of the bullion issue U.S. Silver Eagle dollars have also increased relative to the commodity market silver spot prices. They're talking about premiums. American Eagles are a plain standard, not special bullion coin. Design stays the same every year. Not like they're scarce. They are, but they usually are minted in 20, 30, 40 million per year. We're talking about Pandas 8 million, Kookaburras 300 to 500,000. So American Eagles have been just a standard basic to the most basic bullion coin, $2, $3 over spot. I would recommend those coins to beginners because they're extremely cheap. Now American Eagles are high premium silver, $10, $15, $20 premiums. Nowadays, $20. American Eagles sold for $45+ everywhere, if you could find them on most places. This all started in 2020 when the US Mint literally ran out of silver. I can't see how these premiums are going to ever go back down as we need so much more silver for the industrial sector. We already had 1.112 billion ounces this year, but I can't imagine how many billions of ounces of silver will be needed or what the demand will look like in 5-6 years when we're in the middle of the Green New Deal or electric vehicles. It's only going to get worse, folks. This month, the wholesale and retail prices of silver bullion have also increased. As I discussed on March 18th, 2021 column, the U.S. Mint has greater difficulty procuring sufficient silver supplies to meet public demand because it's constrained in how much it can pay for the physical silver. Again, the U.S. Mint is being blamed for not providing as many coins in qualities and quantities that the Secretary determines are sufficient to meet public demand. That's text from 31 U.S. Code 5112E. And to require silver to strike Silver Eagles, 31 U.S. Code 5112F1 requires that Secretary shall sell coins minted under subsection E, which is Silver Eagles, to the public at a price equal to the market value of the bullion at the time of the sale. plus costs of minting, marketing, and distributing such coins, including labor, materials, dyes, use of machinery, and promotional and overhead expenses. To repeat from my column last March, other statutes prohibit the U.S. Mint from offering to pay prices higher than established by the paper market spot prices. U.S. 31 Code 5116A3 states in part, the Secretary shall pay not more than the average world price for the gold. 31 U.S. Code 5116B2 states in part, the Secretary shall not pay more than the average world price of silver under any circumstances. As used in this paragraph, the term average world price means the price determined by a widely recognized commodity exchange at the time the silver is obtained by the Secretary. The widely recognized commodity exchange spot price that the U.S. Mint uses to purchase and sell silver and also gold is the LBMA, which is the London Bullion Market Association, the world's largest commodity exchange for these metals. Effectively, the U.S. Mint is prevented from complying with one statutory requirement to produce silver American Eagle sufficient to meet public demand by another statutory requirement that prohibits it from paying a price higher than the paper market spot price. Until and unless these statutes are changed to allow the U.S. Mint to purchase physical silver at prices above the paper market spot prices, it will continue this difficulty in acquiring sufficient metal to meet the public demand. Other private and government minting operations are available or are able to acquire silver at prices above commodity market spot prices, and they are doing so. So why can't the U.S. Mint? Therefore, they are more likely to obtain the silver they need because they are paying higher prices and the limit imposed on what the U.S. Mint can pay. So it's looking like the U.S. Mint's hands are literally tied. We're talking about these private mints, which are, the Sunshine Mint, Vocambi, all these mints that make generic silver, these rounds or these bars. They can get silver above market price, but the U.S. Mint can't. So I don't see how they're ever going to come up with this demand, which means that the premiums for Eagles are only going to get higher and higher. As I said, low supply, high demand shoots the price up. The U.S. Mint's problem of obtaining sufficient silver to meet public demand could be cured by changing the law to give the Mint greater price flexibility. I doubt that would ever be considered. The federal government has a strong interest in holding down silver and gold prices as a major tactic to minimize the interest rate it pays on its $30 trillion of debt. Now we're talking. Now silver is finally becoming intertwined with its intrinsical value and the worthless aspect of the dollar ever since we got rid of the gold standard and the silver standard. Gold standard 1971, silver standard almost exactly 100 years before that. Departing the relevance of gold and silver and the dollar as equal terms. The dollar is only as strong as people think it is. So if people start to think the dollar isn't valuable, literally isn't valuable because it's not backed by anything. We have surpassed $30 trillion in debt, and the dollar's lost 98% of its original purchasing power, and it's only multiplied times 10 in the last 20 years. I don't see how this is going to get any better, and the only alternative is precious metals. There's no solution. We're trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. It's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. It's going to catch up. I don't see how this situation is going to get any better. So long as the market price for physical silver remains consistently higher than the paper commodity contract price, the U.S. Mint is going to continue experiencing difficulty in obtaining sufficient silver. What does this mean for Silver Eagles? It could only mean extremely high prices. What does this mean for generic silver? It's only going to get more popular, as I would recommend. If you're trying to lower your dollar per ounce average and try to make any type of money or at least break even, you're going to have to go the generic silver round. Anyone that has been stacking longer than a couple of years would know that Eagles are nothing special. It's just that the U.S. Mint can't produce them because of the silver shortage. That also means that people that have been stacking longer than a couple of years are in an extremely profitable situation, since we bought most of our silver for only $2-3, or our Eagles at $2-3 above spot. And the average price of silver has been $15 over the last 10 years. So we're talking about getting our silver Eagles at $17, $18 a pop, while now people are paying $45 a pop. A lot of people said $50 silver wouldn't be here in the next couple of years. Well, it did. Maybe spot price isn't $50, but the price you have to pay for a physical ounce of silver is $50. So spot price is irrelevant if it's just a number on a screen, and that's not anywhere near the price you're going to be able to pay for that ounce. If someone was walking down the street and asked, hey, how much is a silver eagle? Well, I would say spot price is $25, but you're going to have to pay $45 to get it. In that guy's mind, what is the real price of that coin? It's $45. What is a number on a screen matter if that's not the price you're going to pay? So we're in a situation here, folks. I wanted to bring this to your attention to show the severity and why I push how serious the silver shortage is. When I made my last video talking about this article, I was wondering, and I had a hunch that this is much more serious. And when I found this article that was written 2 days ago, it only confirmed that. I'd love to know what you think about this. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. People need to see this. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.